Hey guys, this is Chesney Hawks here. You are watching My Hammers 11 with the one and only Russ.
Hi everybody, Russ and My Hammers 11. Hope you're all safe and well on your channel. Please consider subscribing, hitting the bell icon, yada yada yada. I'd like to thank our channel sponsors, Untuck It, just by Seb's Head. Make sure you check them out in the description below. As you can see, we've got Sebastian. Sebastian's literally just come off the training field, pre-season, LA Galaxy. How are we, Mister? LLETGET? We good, man?
Oh, so good, man. No, thank you for the introduction. Thank you for having me. I've heard a lot about your show, and it's definitely excited to be here.
Cool, man. Yeah, we have loads of American fans, loads of American Hammers, man. And it's great. We try and get as many different types of players. It's not always, necessarily the guys everyone get. That's why I love interviewing guys like yourselves and a lot of the youth team, because you was around. I mean, you was around West Ham since
so long.
We'll talk about why.
It seemed like it was like 6-7 years.
Yeah.
I forget the year, but my first trial was with when I was 13. So young, under Tony Carr. Legend at the club and definitely legend, especially at the academy level. And I got to play with so many good players and it was just a really good experience. Taught me so much. And I love the club. I love it.
Yeah,
I still support them to this day.
Good, man. Obviously, we're doing all right at the moment, aren't we? We're doing not too bad.
I hope we get into Europe, man. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, I think we will, man. I think we will. There's a real buzz around the place. There's a real buzz around social media 100%. and on YouTube and Twitter and Instagram, and whether it's the fans, whether it's the players, Jesse Lingard, Declan Rice, I've been sort of working at West Ham for 20 years, and this is the most excited I've felt within the club. You can feel it. You can feel there's something we're brewing.
There's an energy for sure. That's just like there's been a big shift.
Yes, that's a way. Yeah, great way of describing it. Is a shift of momentum, and obviously, for those of you who's like, who's this bloke? No disrespect.
No, 100%.
But obviously, some of the younger fans, obviously, unless they're not following the MLS. I mean, you've played hundreds of games for the Galaxy now, man.
Yeah.
How's pre-season going? Is it all right? Is it going well?
Yeah, everything's been really good. I know we're on a different schedule than Europe, but that's mainly because of, certain places in America, the weather is just unplayable. Yes. So I think that's another, if anybody ever has questions about why MLS is on a different schedule, it's because, it's a big country and not every state can play under certain conditions.
Yes.
So, but no, as far as here in LA, yes, we're a little bit more blessed as far as the sun. And, I'm sure you've heard and people talk about it all the time. I remember being over there and everybody's like, oh, I want to go to LA, blah, 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 but it's been amazing. We just got a new coaching staff who, really exciting, breath of fresh air in the club, which we need. And the league is getting so much just better and better every year. The quality is really just, taking off. So it's it's been really good.
It is, man, and that's it. Yeah, just we'll talk about West Ham, obviously, but not being funny. You've been there for a few years now, and some the caliber of players that have come through your rank. Zlatan, and obviously.
Oh no! I've got to play with some amazing Ashley Cole, Steven Gerrard, Nigel De Jong, Ibra. Trying to think,
and obviously Chicharito as well.
Chicharito, in the moment right now. So it's like, and he was just at West Ham. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny. A lot of like full circle moments. You're just like, wow.
Yeah. No, I get that, man. No,
really
I totally understand. Yeah, do you know what? Obviously, I spent quite a bit of time in the States, and I always go to MLS games because it was always during the summer, the summer months,
right.
and I love it. It's just that the fans are just mental, absolutely mental.
It's great. It's a different environment, and that's why football is the best sport in the world. You can go anywhere in the world. It's a different feeling, but the same. It's like the same but different. I know that sounds weird, but everybody has the same love for the game, but express it differently. You know what I mean? And so I think that's why it's. But yeah, when you come here, you get all sorts of fans. 100%.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I managed to blag my way. I went to the Red Bulls, and I managed to blag my way into the game early.
Did you?
Because usually at West Ham, I'm usually like 4 hours early, you know. So I turn up to a game.
Oh, man,
The game's
so
3 o'clock. I'm there at 11, and then I'm walking around going, "Where's?" And this bloke says, "You all right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm
it's
working."
So true. Yeah, and everybody knows each other at the stadium, and you know you. Man, yeah, I always, especially when I was young going to the games, I'd have just 2 hamburgers just because I've been waiting there for like 3 hours. You know, you're just like.
That's my excuse. That's my excuse. That's my excuse about. Yeah, it wasn't just because it's because I get to the games too early and I just have to eat a lot. That's
a good one though, right? Yeah, we got to use that
now.
We got to use that.
I'll be using that. Come back, my wife's put a nice. No, she wouldn't have put a nice dinner. She doesn't cook, but you know, like ordered a nice takeaway. Do you do the cooking at home? Does Becky?
We split it. I mean, my missus particularly is very busy and has a lot of stuff going on, so that's why she doesn't cook. So she has a good excuse, but
that's an excuse. I haven't got this. We're locked down, Seb. We've been locked down for a year, man. There's no excuse.
That's what I heard. As of recent, that it's still. You know, I was in Europe with the men's with the national team for USA. Sure. We had 2 friendlies. We played in Austria and we played in Northern Ireland, and I was getting word that things were getting bad again in England. It? You know?
It was during the sort of summer months. It was like okay. It was like we all locked down, but it was 30 degrees, so everyone's okay, you know, because everyone can sit in the garden. And then it went a little bit away. You had a little bit of not freedom, but it relaxed the rules slightly. And then it locked down, and over Christmas, and we're sort of just coming out of it now. So you know, like the pub. You know, I mean, you've lived in England for many years. The pubs opened on Monday, so you know that's a massive thing for
that
English
people. Huge thing.
But only outside, but doesn't matter. It's a start.
Wow. That's. Well, I'm praying for you guys, man. I know how much. Yeah, I mean, even though there's the weather and that, like, the culture is to be very social and very just together. You know what I mean? So it's, and I know it's like that for the rest of the world. But I know in England, like I remembered being there, and that was definitely a big part of the culture, especially with football on.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And so hopefully, if everything sorts itself out, I know you guys have had some attendances at some game, particularly the NFL and stuff have had attendances. We should have hopefully that last game of the season against Southampton. Hopefully, we'll have 10,000 back at the stadium.
Wow,
so
that would be
start,
amazing,
man. That's a start. And then if everything's all right, June. I think it's June the 21st. No face masks, nothing. Then.
Well, I mean, I was thinking, I was like, I mean, it would be one of the safer things because the sport is played outside.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I guess it's just like in the passing and tickets and you know, like I don't know, maybe that's when you get a little bit of trouble. But other than that, I mean, it's as long as there's spacing.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you'd be all right. You know?
Yeah, I think we'll be all right. Things seem to be getting better, which is good. The vaccination, I know, same as you guys, the vaccination program's like going crazy. Everyone's getting vaccinated and stuff.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man. Anyway, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about fun times for you. So just going over sort of your West Ham chronological history, so to speak.
Yeah.
If I'm right, so obviously, you said you first got scouted at 13, your first trial, but you actually, was it 17 that you came over? Was it 17?
Yeah, it was around 6. I was training with the first team 16, and then I was turning 17 shortly after. And that was when Zola was the coach.
Yeah.
Or the manager, sorry.
And then that must have been, you know, because, I mean, you know, you were over... it
was amazing.
You're a San Fran boy, and then having to go to London, man.
It was just a very stop-start for me because especially at the time, the FA had so many rules for Americans. And you know what I mean? So it was very like, oh, everything's going well. You know, Zola loves you and wants you with the first team, but I can't play games. I can't play actual matches because I can't be listed as registered yet, you know, and because I didn't have an Italian or an European passport, but I was in the process of getting my Italian passport. And so it was very just stop start. And then, you know, he got sacked, and it was just like, since that moment, I swear it just kind of like never got a real look in again, which is crazy. And that was part of the game, you know, it was a tough lesson.
No, totally. And you're right. I mean, Zola was all about the
Yeah,
kids, wasn't it? Bleeding through the kids and stuff,
yeah,
and no disrespect, but other regimes after that wasn't so
yeah. They
much
just
about that for
didn't.
you.
You know, I have different types of respect for
Yeah,
those managers as well. I just yeah, definitely Zola. I think saw a lot of he had a vision,
mm.
you know, and I think that's how he liked you know, to work, and he saw a vision for the club. And you know, and to be fair though to the other managers, you know, even though it didn't go well personally, the where positionally where the club was at the time,
Yeah,
it was just all about results and
yeah,
do whatever you can to get a result. You know what I mean?
mm.
And you were never gonna really throw in youngsters at the time. You know,
Yeah,
it just wasn't. I mean, just like we were saying at the beginning, like the feel or the energy and the energy at the club was not that. You know, like
no,
that
yeah,
wasn't a priority. You know,
yeah,
and so, and you know, and it goes back to, and that's why I'm super happy that people like Declan Rice and you know have gotten a real look and a real
mm.
opportunity, and they've taken it, and you can see now where there's a lot of quality and a lot of promise with young players.
Yeah, no, totally. And you
Yeah.
know, despite the fact, obviously, you know, Zola went, you know, and you know, it was probably the last manager you think would give you your debut. He gave you your debut out of all the
Yeah.
managers. No disrespect to all of them, but you know, and
100%.
and so you know what I mean? It's
It's
like
insane. Yeah. No, for sure.
it's crazy. It's crazy, and obviously that game was like, you know, most people
Oh,
remember
that
that.
particular game. Oh
Yeah,
my days. I know
yeah.
people still. I still have the Nottingham Forest.
Oh,
Oh, I still have it ringing in my in my head.
it's your
Every goal
ringtone.
would go in, and they would just sing that song. I was just like,
It
oh
was,
my
yeah, it was like boy, it was like it very much lambs of the slaughter. It felt a little bit that team, unfortunately.
yeah. But that's what I
Um,
mean. You know, we were so focused at the time with staying up
yeah,
or going. You know, yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think we were staying up or going up, and we had important games coming up, and you know, and he saw the opportunity to play just youngsters against a full side of,
yeah,
you know, and you know what I mean. And that was like the last real time we all got to play with each other. Like, to be honest with you,
yeah,
which is
yeah,
crazy, but that's just a reality. And you know, it's yeah, we had a lot of good talent as well. Like,
yeah. You did,
it's
you did,
crazy.
and obviously he said 6 or 7 years with the club. You know, there's guys you sort of trained with and played at youth team football and
Oh
reserve
yeah.
team football all the way through. So you know there was, and that's what we've interviewed lots. As I said before we started, interviewed a lot of sort of youth team players, and they still have a tremendous bond with each other. You know, just because they
Yes.
still remember fondly. Is that the same with you guys? You know, you got in terms of the guys. Obviously, you know, obviously distance and stuff is a bit different in terms of
No, of
making sure you
course,
text
yeah,
them right
especially with
time. But
me and now. But no, honestly, being older and now, you know, the way we have social media and we can be so
yeah,
connected, and we can always keep tabs on you know on old friends and old teammates, and you know, I think we've all definitely tried to do our best. You know what I mean? And you know, I still talk to all like most of the boys still,
yeah,
and they always, you know, we always find a way to have a quick chat, or if it's somebody's birthday, we'll always try. I mean, I think we definitely want to reunite one day and just kind of, you know, just kind of talk about,
yeah,
because those are really crucial years in your life, and we
definitely.
spent so much time together, and so it'd be a shame if it's wasted by just like you know, not talking or not putting in effort. So it's you know, and a lot of them are still playing in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just it's good to see. It's good to
It
see.
is, it's lovely to see. It's like, but
Yeah.
it does seem like obviously we interview a lot of people from different eras. And they all seem to stay in touch with all their West Ham, you know, teammates and stuff. And you know, I mean that when you were sort of around the club, there was, you know, particularly being around the first team as well. There was a lot of big characters as well. We had a lot of characters there.
Yeah, a lot
Um,
of characters.
a lot of characters, and obviously changing of guard in terms of management means new characters coming in,
Yeah.
the previous ones going. But you know, as you said, you know, it was a great learning period for you in terms
Yeah.
of your personal development. When what happened in terms of, 'cause obviously you signed a new contracts 2013, something like that, and then you left the club a couple of years later. So you know, what was the mechanics there? You know, was it LA Galaxy came in for you, or you wanted to
Yeah, it
leave,
was
or
well, I think it just came to a certain point where I think we all knew collectively that I was, well, in England, to be honest, once you turn 20 years old and you haven't played, 20 games or 50 games at any first team level, and you've been playing resis for, God knows how long, which was my case. People start to have this perception of you, or wondering why, like what even to go on loan, that was always a big deal, to go on loan, get experience. But it was so hard to get on loan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I
Like,
mean,
it was such a
you
hard
didn't
thing
go
to
on loan,
do.
did you? You didn't go on loan, did you?
Yeah, and I was always that in between player where they wanted me around the first team, with the first team. And then I was always like, yeah, but I'm just training. I'm never going to get a look in. I'm on the bench here and there. Let me go on loan. And then it was like this in between phase where they don't want to get rid of you, but they never going to play you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just a really weird, and a lot of young players, especially at the time, were stuck in this in between phase where the club loved you, but it was very weird. But and I'm sure it still happens to this day. But yeah, so I think collectively we realized, all right, came to the point where I was like, hey, guys, I'm at the end of my contract.
Yeah.
I'm already 21, coming on 22. Like, I need an opportunity somewhere. And thankfully, the Galaxy, then when they got word of that, they gave me the chance. And it was sort of like a way to just start over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
A breath of fresh air. It had nothing really to do with like coming back to the States. It was more like, this is a good opportunity, and it's been a successful club, and, huge name, good players. And even though I didn't even know much about the league at the time as well, because I was so into the Premier League.
Sure.
Like when I came here, I was blown away by the quality, and I think every year they've just been, taking the next step. And so that's kind of how that happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you're right. I mean, as you said, you got in it relatively, I'd say probably since the last sort of 5 or 6 years, the MLS has just, as you said, every year the quality's grown, the investment's grown. Obviously, right. Mr. Beckham, started his own club as well. Hello, it's like that's it's quite a good one. Yeah, it's amazing, man. It's amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, no. I think they've done really well as far as Yeah, it's a hot property now, getting involved with an MLS club.
It is.
It's hot property, and like the likes of Beckham and people like that getting involved. Phil Neville being now a manager.
Yeah.
Which I'll play them on the weekend. So so that'll be very interesting. But and then the quality of players that have come over, and we've mentioned a couple that I've played with, and yeah, man. I mean, it's a really interesting place. And I think in 10 years, 15 years, it'll be even bigger.
It's sort of exponential growth, every
100%.
year. Yeah, no, I know what you mean, man. I know what you mean. Right, speaking of great players, so obviously the whole point of the show is called Miami's 11. So, we put, basically what the idea is, we get, it's usually fans, but, with the fans, they put together their teams. But with the players, we put together, we're trying to put together an 11 of sort of, doesn't have to be the best players, but the players you maybe enjoyed playing with or training with the most, you know what I mean? So, it's only a bit of fun. It's only a bit of
course.
Fun,
yeah.
No one takes it too seriously. The only ones who take it too seriously are the older players, and you didn't play with any of them because they were like in the 80s. They take it really seriously, like literally. They'll be phoning each other up and saying,
the best 11.
Yeah, you haven't picked me up. You haven't picked me. It's like, it's like, Jesus, okay.
Yeah,
really take it.
As far as like the 80s and stuff, I wouldn't have. I mean, the legends.
Yeah.
But as far as like players, could I pick players that I probably trained with, played with?
So basically, that's what we do with you guys. That's what we do for all the players, rather than the best 11 that West Ham. It's an 11 of the players that you trained and played with.
Okay.
So across those sort of 6 or 7 years. So that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Let's see.
It's like, that's why. So we start off in goal. We'll do it one position at a time because it's easier then. Who's in goal? Who's in goal for the Jet 11?
At my time, I think Robert Green was had the most appearances while I was there. A top guy, I loved how he always had a cup of tea at halftime. It was just so funny. I mean, like he'd come in immediately, I forget who would make it for him, and he'd just take it and just always sip as the manager was speaking. It was just, I always thought that was so, especially being American.
Yeah.
You're just like,
That's
what is going
so
on here?
archetypal Englishman having a cup of
So
tea, isn't
yeah,
it?
he is so that guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I always love that about him.
Yeah.
I left back. I'll probably go Cresswell. Which is still playing to this day. I always loved him. Yeah. Aaron Cresswell.
He's a good boy. He's a good boy.
Center back. I'm gonna go with Tompkins.
Nice. Yeah. He's
I like
one of those,
maybe like a right-sided.
Yeah, we could put him on the right. I think with
I'll
Tompkins,
yeah.
he's one of those players who I think people missed, because we sold him and it was like, and once we sold him, we sort of needed him. And
I remember that. It just didn't make it didn't make a lot of sense. But I always thought he was very like just steady. He broke into the team. He was an academy player.
Yeah.
I always looked up to.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I was going to ask that. So when you see some people like Tompkins break into the first team, you go, we can do that. We can. Does it give you an extra sort of boost?
Those, for sure. He definitely paved some, the way, like in as well as like Jack Collison or something.
Yeah.
And left-sided. You know what? When I played there, we didn't really have any like ball playing center backs. We had like really just hard. Really hard. And I think that was like the identity. But you know what? I will say, like, I'm stuck between like Ginge and like Collins or Winston Reed. It's really, you know what I mean? Like, because they both did all right. You know what I mean? Like they both had their little spells.
Yeah, they did. And they both played around the same amount of time across both about 9-10 years. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Winston.
Go for Winston, only because he was over your side of the neck of the woods.
Yeah. He chose the right side, so I'm like, all right.
He did, but he's doing great at Brentford at the moment.
Yeah, he's doing
really
great.
well.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's good to see, man. It's good to see.
I think right side is where I struggle. I always forget the right back position. Yeah. Maybe you can help.
Well,
me
what
out.
You could do
if you know a couple between like
because I know you were sort of talking about Ginge and Winston. James Tompkins played a few games at right back.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean?
I could move him.
So you could move him to right back and put Ginge in, and then you don't worry. And then
I'm gonna do that.
Do that. So we'll put Ginge in. We'll put Ginge in. Yeah, as you said, a real sort of like.
Yeah, we'll do that.
But that's what I liked about someone like James Tompkins. He just got on with it. He would play
he just got on with it, and only real fans sort of notice that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because he's an out and out center back, but he would always just bite the bullet and just do it. You know what I mean?
And as a West Ham boy, as an academy boy, you're never going to question his commitment.
Right.
He'll have a go.
Exactly.
He'll have a go, and that's all people ask about.
And a Hammer fan always. Yeah, that's all I've ever heard. Just like if you give everything, the people will never. Yeah. They'll always remember that.
Totally.
So.
Right.
So
there we go.
Okay. So if I'm in a 4-4, I'll just go 4-4-2.
Yeah, go for 4-4-2.
Talking to a proper English. We'll just go. Even though the game has progressed massively,
it's still 4-4-2 in essence.
Let's just say 4-4-2. I'm gonna go on the right side.
Yeah.
I might go Stuart Downing.
Nice.
Just because I remember training with him and he was just always such a good player, man. His crossing, finishing, just like he just had it. His left foot was like a wand.
Yeah, I like that. And also, I mean, he was one of those players who, he got back into England. Do you remember? Yeah, he did get back into England squad, didn't he? I think because
I think that was
Big
around the
Sam
time that he got back in.
Yeah, because he was like not floundering, but he wasn't really playing much. He wasn't playing well. Then Sam put him at it was that sort of top of. He played like a diamond, didn't he?
He
for
did.
A while. And Downing was the top of the diamond, and was just like amazing.
It was. Yeah, he tried a lot of things, and I think that position really worked out for him. Yeah. Definitely. But I guess for this sake, I'll put him like coming in on his left. Let's just say that.
Inverted wingers, wingers.
Yeah.
Go on,
I mean, the center mids is so it's much easier for me.
Go on.
I'm gonna go 100% Mark Noble.
Yes.
100%. Yeah. Mr. West Ham.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go Scotty Parker.
Nice. Yeah, that's
Yes.
good. I like that. Yeah, that's good, man.
Yeah, Scotty Parker.
What
And
can you say?
then, even though it was a little spell, I loved his character. Loved like he was a someone to look up to, which was Joe Cole.
Nice. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Of course. Yeah, you would have. Yeah, the second coming, wasn't it? The second
Yeah,
coming. Yeah, you would have got been in
exactly.
there.
Yeah, I think he
It's
spent
funny, isn't
two
it? God.
years, and
Yeah.
he was just like such a top guy. And, he did so much in the game, and
Yeah.
it's just like, I have to.
Yeah. Good choice.
Up top. So two up top.
Two up top.
So even though I never got to train with him because I was too young, but I was the only one at the club who actually knew who he was, and it's Carlos Tevez. When he first got there, nobody had any clue who this guy was. And obviously my parents are Argentinian, so we've been watching him for years. And so it was really funny to see kind of like people recognize him. But I was honestly I was the only one buzzing. Like they're like, who the hell is this guy, Carlos Tevez? Yeah, funny.
When you was, because obviously you came over as a youth player, then signed pro contracts. So when you were sort of in that sort of youth, in that bit in the middle, did you have to clean anyone's boots?
You know what? I don't know why, but at my time there, it was more like making tea than it was more like I had to do that. And what they would do. What they would do is they would be like if we're going to an away game, Kevin Nolan would be like, Seb, go on, get the teas, get the teas in. And I would make it, but I would use the water from the faucet. And and I just, because I didn't know. And then so they would know what I was going to do. So I would make all the teas, and then they'd all just be like, this is shit, make it again. But
for those you, faucet means tap. Faucet means tap for anyone who's just like, what's a faucet? Because there might be some people. There might be some people said,
100%.
So you'd use the tap to make the tea. Brilliant.
Yeah. So tap some. Yeah. To be fair, I should have known that. I expect more for myself.
Yeah, but that's what I would do. But I would do that if someone gave me a job to make the tea, I'd make it really shit, knowing that they're not going to get me to do it again. Do you know what I mean? My wife calls me Arthur Job. So I do I do half a job, and it's like, well, then she just gets a man in. So like something needs painting, I'll get a man in. It's probably the same with Bex, isn't it? I'll get someone to come in to do that. So yeah, okay.
It was so funny, exactly. So then I'd have to make it all again with bottled water, and So even some would even be like, oh, there's too much milk, and then I'd have to go.
Tea
but to be fair, it was good banter. I always loved, I always didn't mind. I was always like, I always found it funny.
So, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's, as long as it doesn't go. I mean, that's the thing. It's like nowadays, it's a different environment now.
It is a different environment.
But where you were, it's like that time. If the band, it was banter, it was fun, and as long as there was nothing nasty. But I think actually talking to a lot of the older pros when they wanted the kids to come up to them and do it, and do the banter, because that was part of the team spirit, going out for a drink and whatnot afterwards.
It's all part of 100%. But I think now, it's just a different time.
It's different. It's a different world.
Even with young players here at our club, we make them maybe do something funny or something, but we would never go overboard. You always have to think like that now. It's just
fair
the
enough.
way. You never wanted to come across.
And you wouldn't be really making tea over there. It would be like it'd be coffee. And stuff. It wouldn't be tea. It would be like the first point they'd be looking at you.
I might bring back the boot cleaning, because now I'm in a position of experience. So
that's
now
you're exactly experienced pro now. So that's it. Right, Carlitos, who's the last spot, man? Because then you can go and have a shower.
You know what? He didn't have a long career there, and I didn't get to train with him either. But I always loved when I first signed with the club, I was a ball boy. They put me as a ball boy, and this guy just I don't know. I just really just admired him, and I know he could have done a lot more with his career, if there wasn't any injuries. And it was probably Dean Ashton.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree totally, man.
Yeah, Dean Ashton, I think would have kept going. I think his quality, and I could put Carlton Cole up there. I thought he was always a character, stuff like that. I'm trying to think of other strikers though that during my time. I don't
During
think we
your
really
time.
had like strikers for too long. Like it was always changing. You know
It was
what I mean?
always changing. It was always changing, and yeah, I mean Colton, you would have had
Like Carroll, obviously.
Andy, you'd have had Marlon.
But I know the fans are like a little bit, they don't know if they would even like. There's so many ups and downs with those players,
They always, yeah. I mean, the thing is, we never really. Even now, I can't remember the last time we had a striker for a prolonged. I mean, you said
Yeah,
Carlos
yeah.
and Ashton. Them like Colton was always in and out. Marlon was probably our longest. I reckon Marlon Harewood was probably our longest one. Teddy Sheringham was around, but in and out. He was only there for a little bit.
Terry
and
Sheringham.
it
It was like no more than 2 seasons. Like
yeah.
somebody, you know what I mean? I mean, now Antonio is like someone you see at least a little bit more consistently.
Yeah.
But
when he's not injured, it's okay. When he's not
yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's West, for whatever reason, West Ham just never. It just hasn't been that type of club. You know what I mean?
And I always say, when I was watching the Leicester game the other day, we were one forward, one striker away from being a dangerous team.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? Like if we got like someone really good,
it's just
a Jamie
them
Vardy
there.
or something like that'd be amazing, or Danny Ings. That's what we want. Well,
Yeah,
there's this guy. He
I
plays
love
for
Danny
you.
Ings. Oh
It's
my
this
God.
guy who plays for you called Chicharito. He'd be good at West Ham.
Yeah, he'd be all right. He'd be all right. Yeah, but we dragged him away. Yeah,
You dragged him away. The sunshine of LA was better than the grey skies of Newham. But anyway,
are they training out Rush Green now?
yeah, Rush Green. Yeah.
Rush
So
Green.
yeah,
It's
that's all
not
been.
Chadwell Heath anymore. I don't think.
No, it's the I think the women's team is at Chadwell Heath and
Okay.
some of the younger youth teams. But I think they brought it all changed when Pellegrini was in charge and then Moyes. It's all gone.
Right.
Yeah, but they have it's more of a complex now at Rush
Gotcha.
Green. So. Yeah, it's all good, but do you know what? Considering that's been off the top of your head, Seb, that ain't a bad team.
You know what? I
like that.
I'll take that team. I'll take that all day. I think there's a lot of quality in there.
There is, and there's a lot of heart, and particularly in the defense.
There's a good mix. There's a good mix of quality, and then you got some workers.
And we'll take Cresswell now because Cresswell's an absolute don at the moment, so we'll take him. That's good, man. Seb, man, thank you so much for your time, buddy. It's been a right giggle.
Thank you so much for having
Real
me.
giggle, man.
It's really good to connect back with. You kind of took me back to memory lane, and
Good.
And it's very nice.
That's it, man. All ready for the new season. That's what
right.
I mean. Just get you ready. Where
wish us the best, man.
Yeah, we do, man. Always looking out for the Galaxy, man. Always looking out for you guys. And thank you. And obviously, thanks everyone for watching. As always, like, share, subscribe. Also, like, share Seb's channel.
Yeah,
Seb's got a
please.
channel.
Yeah, no, please. Yeah. Look me up on YouTube. And, I just started my channel. And hopefully I'm as nearly as successful as you guys.
I think I've got about 1,000 more than you. But that's not. But I mean, I've been there in a year. You haven't done so far.
I know. It's early days for me. It's early days.
It's good fun though. It's good fun, isn't it? Though
it is good fun. Yeah, you just got to be consistent with it, and it's not as easy as people think. By the way,
it ain't. No, it ain't. I didn't think so. I just started doing it, and it was it's a lot of hard work, man. But it's good fun. It's good fun. Anyway, from myself and from Seb, take care, everyone. Stay safe. Get those jabs when you get your appointments. Come on, you irons, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Cheers, man. Take care.
Cheers.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Take
Cheers,
care,
man.
okay?
Bye.